Hello, my name is Oscar Diaz, and I'm the trombone professor here at Texas A&M University-Kingsville. And it's my pleasure to announce that the Trombone Studio here, the Trombone Choir, has been invited to this year's Midwest Clinic, Band and Orchestra Clinic in Chicago, Illinois. And we're very excited to be attending this and be performing. I know it's a fantastic honor for myself and more importantly for the students involved. The most difficult thing, other than preparing a wonderful concert for the attendees, is actually getting the funds to attend this wonderful trip. And with your help, hopefully in donating anything that you can to help support our adventure, will go greatly to their education and to just being able to travel and perform their instruments, showcasing the talent that we have here at South Texas. In a little bit, you're going to be hearing testimonial, and you're going to hear a little bit about the studio from studio members, how they feel about themselves and how they feel about their colleagues within the trombones. There's over 40 trombone majors here at the college, and I'm very, very proud of them. Sit back, relax. It'd be great to listen with headphones. All the soundtrack music behind the voice is the studio members, either a trombone choir or a trombone quartet. And at the end, you'll see a little bit of rehearsal from our trombone studio or trombone choir rehearsals. And just enjoy. Thank you.
Who are the TAMUK trombones?
The TAMUK trombones are a world-class ensemble of trombone players from all across South Texas.
We are always constantly moving towards the next big thing for us, whether that be a concert coming later in the semester, or some competition that we all want to be a part of, or some great exhibitions.
The TAMUK trombones is pretty much just a group of random people who all come together to play trombone. They all give their all to the trombone, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's pretty much the only thing we all have in common. Like, we each have different interests.
Each one of them is a hardworking, smart individual who does what they have to do to keep the status and keep up to the status of what the TAMUK trombones are.
I don't know. It's just there's 45 of us now. Like, it just sounds crazy to say there's 45 trombone players all in one place. And we all get along too, like first chair can hang out with last chair, no problem, and that's just the spirit of who we are.
What makes the TAMUK trombone special?
Probably the fact that there's so many different backgrounds and personality types, and we all mesh together to form really great music.
What makes our studio so special is how close we are to each other, how we like to work together as a group. We spend a lot of time with each other. We have about 4 rehearsals a week, 2 hours, so we spend a lot of time working together, making great music.
We're all based in Texas. We were all born no farther than 350 miles from the campus. Like, we're all from South Texas. Like, I would say like 98% of us are Hispanic, and the other 2% is probably half Hispanic. And we're just basically from nowhere. We're just from South Texas. We're from places that nobody's ever even heard of and probably will never hear of. But we're all here and we're playing trombone.
What is it that makes the studio thrive?
What makes the studio thrive it starts with Dr. Diaz. He sets the example and everybody follows his example.
What makes us thrive is our ability to work together, and we always want to make ourselves better musicians. As a lot of us are educators, we know we have to be able to give that work ethic that we have to our students. It's a great way to learn and a great way to teach other students.
I think the reason we tend to be successful is because we all have like the same goal in mind. Like, we're like an ant colony almost. Like, we all work for one thing. I mean, we each focus on each other naturally, but like when we come to rehearse, like we each have like the same thing in mind. Like, we all like know what we got to do.
Here at TAMUK, our professor is able to push us every day, and each member works hard to where everyone is able to pull their own weight.
I think what also helps is having a professor who has a very dynamic character who can bring out each person out of their shell, and that helps you both musically and as a person. He's a teacher in all different sorts of ways.
For many of us, Dr. Diaz is very much of a father figure, and we can see that in our studio is very family oriented. We all get along together. We all go to each other's practice rooms and ask for duets, trios, quartets, etc. All to just push ourselves to become the best version of ourselves.
Why did you choose Kingsville?
Personally, my father actually came here. He was part of the Trombone Studio as well, but also because the Trombone Studio was such a renown, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
I chose Kingsville definitely for the environment here. I've heard great things about the studio, how well they work together, and how it's a studio that is always looking to improve. And that's what I needed for myself to improve as a player. I needed to be around people that have that same work ethic as me and that have that same goal to become better musicians.
Dr. Diaz. 100% of my decision was because of Dr. Diaz, actually. Like, I didn't come here for the band. I didn't come here for... I actually didn't know anything about the School of Music here aside from Dr. Diaz. It just ended up working out that the faculty here, like, are world class, and they look after every student, not just their own personal students. I mean, we're a music building of probably, man, it's gone way up recently, but if I were to guess, maybe like between 250 and 300 people. And yeah, it just feels like home now, you know.
I chose Kingsville because one of Dr. Diaz's old students brought me here as my sophomore year of high school, and then junior and senior he went to my high school and gave me lessons, which really helped me resonate with his way of teaching, and that was my first and only choice, really.
Dr. Diaz. I came to the school because of Dr. Diaz. I really liked how he was really easy to approach and talk to, and so much more than just a professor, a teacher.
Well, I chose coming to Kingsville because of Dr. Diaz. I had my first ever private lesson with him at the age of 15, my sophomore year of high school, and having that lesson and figuring out what he teaches and how he teaches, it really helped me figure out, oh, I really like this. He makes trombone fun.
As a member of the TAMUK Trombone Studio, what is a favorite memory of yours?
If I had to choose one, maybe ITF in 2019 in Indiana.
Performing at the International Trombone Festival.
When the studio went to ITF after my freshman year.
Definitely has to be performing at ITF. The feeling after performing on that stage in front of so many hundreds of people is something I've never forgotten. It was a great experience to just be able to play, and I just remember me and so many other people just smiling around me just because of that performance you gave.
That was a pretty fun trip. We were all stuck together on a bus for way too many hours. On one bus, all 40 of us on one bus.
And that performance was special because we were one of the selected night groups to perform, meaning at the end of the day, basically everyone who was attending that festival would come out and see us. And we played some really difficult music, and we worked really hard. And when we got to the performance, the venue was practically packed, and we even had people standing up. And once we ended the concert, we basically got a standing ovation for over a minute, 2 minutes. People just clapping. The entire audience was on their feet, and it was in that moment where I realized, like, all of the long night rehearsals, all of the sweating close to each other was good, and it really worked off.
I think we can all agree that one of our favorite memories was this summer for the quartet competition was probably one of our favorites.
Yeah, each rehearsal was just special to us, playing, learning from each other, just feeding off from each other each time we would meet as a quartet.
What is Midwest, and why is it so important?
Midwest is an annual band and orchestra clinic held in Chicago, Illinois, and it's this music conference that offers exhibits, clinics, master classes, and information to anybody interested in music education or current music educators who want to further improve their education skills.
Midwest is a convention about 18,000 people across the country, and it is important because most of us in the studio are music education majors, and having the experience of going to more clinics related to band and orchestra will help us learn more stuff outside of the trombone world.
There's going to be very popular composers, very successful band directors, very successful collegiate professors. There's musicians of all kinds are going to be there.
As musicians, we spend a lot of time networking and working together with people from around the world, and being able to do something like this, being able to perform at one of these major conventions like Midwest there.
It's a pretty big privilege to be able to play on a stage for all those people who know, they know what's going on. You know, we're not just playing for family. Like, they know what's up.